What's going on, everybody? Crazy Dog back with my Browns Falcons Week 4 preview. As my 2-1 Cleveland Browns are back on the road for the first time since Week 1, as they head to hot Atlanta, Georgia to face off against Marcus Mariota and the 1-2 Atlanta Falcons. And the crazy thing is, both of our teams could easily be 3-0 right now. But obviously, we're 2-1. We choked against the Jets, whereas the Falcons are 1-2 after they narrowly beat the Seahawks. But those two losses, they lost by a combined 5 points. So yeah, they could easily be 3-0. As could we. But instead, we're 2-1. They're 1-2. We're trying to go to 3-1 in our first 4 games, which is kind of where I had us going in our first 4 games. And the Falcons are trying to get to 500 at 2-2. Now, before I get into talking about this game, I've got some Browns news and propaganda to talk about. So, first off, in case you haven't heard by now, Myles Garrett was involved in a single car accident after practice yesterday. As here's a tweet from Cameron Justice, and I quote, Browns defensive end Myles Garrett was in a single car crash after practice today. He and a passenger sustained non-life threatening injuries and were transported to a nearby hospital. Now, his agent also came out with a statement, and as you can see, she pretty much clarifies everything. And that's good to hear that he's doing all right. No broken bones. I did hear he had like head and shoulder pain and stuff, so hopefully that's not too serious. But it's just good to hear that he's all right. You know, when I heard that he got in a crash and then I saw non-life threatening injuries, I was like, all right, cool. All right. Yeah, I've heard so many different factors. I've heard wet roads, high winds, and then earlier today I heard that an animal had ran out in front of his car. And of course, if you live in Ohio, you know them deer are they're menaces on the roads. They be running in front of you, and you don't even see them. Like sometimes they will literally wait until you're right on top of them to run out into the road. Some deer can be very dumb, I tell you. My goodness. But yeah, I'm just happy to hear that Myles Garrett's all right. You know, most likely he won't play this week, which is definitely a bummer because you look at our defense without him, and we virtually have no pass rush. So that's going to put a lot of pressure on the other guys in the defensive line room to try to generate a pass rush. Now, good thing is we're not really facing the best offensive line, which last week we weren't facing the best offensive line either, and we only got 1 sack from Jacob Phillips. By the way, Anthony Walker's out for the year too, in case you didn't hear. Yep, things are going great in Cleveland. Oh yeah, yep, things are going peachy. It's kind of funny because we're going to the Peach State, right? You know, Atlanta's nickname is Peach Tree or whatever. Yeah. Oh, man, you gotta love it. But we need this win this week. You know, just go out there and simply get a win. That's all I'm asking. Now for some Browns propaganda, alright? You ready? For all you haters out there that were saying that, oh, the Browns need to get rid of Stefanski. Stefanski needs to get fired. You know, Stefanski should give up play calling. I found a couple things that really made me happy. The first one is this from Mike Clay, and I quote, the Jacoby Brissett led Browns are third in the NFL in offensive EPA. I believe EPA is expected points added. Only Miami and KC are ahead. Yeah, Kevin Stefanski should definitely give up play calling, right? Uh huh. Oh, yeah, he really should. And then you got this little bit of propaganda. Right? Look where the Browns are. Right? Especially in points and points per game. They are the sixth, essentially highest scoring offense right now. 85 points scored. And it's kind of funny too. Look at the points per game. 28.3. Who are we facing this week? The Falcons. What are they known for? Blowing a 28-3 lead. I swear, the football gods just do that kind of thing. Of course. Of course, right? But yeah, the Falcons, they're a decent team. They got some good pieces. Of course, they got Drake London. They got an old friend in Kadero Hodge on offense. They got Kyle Pitts. Cordero Patterson's having a great year as a running back. Yeah, in case you didn't hear, Cordero Patterson is more of a running back now instead of a receiver. So he's definitely going to be a threat to watch out for on the offensive side of the ball for the Falcons. Their defense is, I mean, they have really two great players, Grady Jarrett and AJ Terrell. A lot of the other guys are guys that are not really known around these parts, like youngsters or like, guys that don't really do a whole lot. I think Terrell and Jarrett are definitely the two big names we really got to watch out for on offense because they could get you. Grady Jarrett can easily get in to Jacoby Brissett's space and really make his day rough. And of course, AJ Terrell will most likely be matched up with Amari. So it's going to be a matchup to watch. We know how good Amari is when it comes to route running. And I'm sure Kevin Stefanski is going to have a good scheme set up to get him open. He always seems to get him open too. That's another thing. People criticizing Stefanski. Well, look at the scheme, man. The scheme is beautiful right now. I love it. It just seems like Brissett and Cooper are connecting so well right now. I mean, look how many chances he had in that Carolina game. He narrowly missed several throws to Cooper. And these last two games, he's been connecting on those throws. I really think Cooper could have a big game this week. And I cannot wait. But now let's get into my three keys to victory, and then of course I get to my players to watch because yes, I have a couple, and then I'll give you my prediction. So first off, my three keys to a Browns victory this Sunday against the Falcons. Key number one: contain Drake London, Kyle Pitts, and Cordero Patterson. Key number two: establish the run game to open up the pass. Because if Chubb and Hunt are eaten, that's going to open up Cooper and company to really go off in the passing game. And then number three, generate a pass rush and get to Mariota, possibly without Myles Garrett. That's going to be a big challenge for this team. And as always, take care of the ball, force turnovers, don't be dumb. Yeah, the good stuff. As far as my players to watch, I got Alex Wright and Jadeveon Clowney, who could possibly be back this week. So hopefully Miles is all right, which he is. That's good to hear. But he's probably not playing this week, which sucks. But yeah, we need Alex Wright to really show up and take over in the place of Miles. I know Jadeveon will do his thing. He's had a revelation with the Browns. Just sucks he didn't play last week because with him not playing, teams just focused on Miles. And now without Miles, teams are probably going to do the same thing to Jadeveon. But the good thing about Jadeveon is he's a good run stopper. So essentially, we'd be daring Mariota to beat us through the air. And of course, we have a very good secondary. Now, it would be wonderful if Denzel Ward can get his act together and start playing like that elite corner that we paid him to be. He did all right, late in that game last week, but the dude's been getting beat a little too much for my liking. Especially being paid as much as he's being paid right now. $100 million. Hey, Joe Woods, how about you play him in some man coverage, huh? You should be able to trust him, right? Now, on the other side, of course, you're going to have, Greg Newsome and Martin Emerson, who is used to, I guess, the atmosphere of the SEC lands from Mississippi State, of course. He played against Georgia and all that. I believe he played against Pickens, too, so he's played in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. But whatever. He's used to the atmosphere, though. Definitely. Gonna be interesting to see how the SEC guys do. Delpit and company, and I think Greedy will be back next week, which would be nice. Hopefully, he doesn't look like a freaking bum out there. But yeah, I need Alex Wright and Jadeveon Clowney to really show out this week if Myles Garrett doesn't play. Which again, it doesn't sound like he will, but who knows? Who knows? It depends on how he's feeling after his accident. And then as for my prediction, I have the Browns getting the victory 31-17, and they improved to 3-1 on the season. And then, of course, from this game, we head into a little bit of a tough stretch. Justin Herbert and company coming to town week 5, followed, I believe, by the Patriots, who might be without Mac Jones. Now, that's going to be interesting to see how that goes. But yeah, facing a beat up Justin Herbert with no left tackle. Rashawn Slater's out now for the year. They're probably not going to have Joey Bosa. And I don't know about JC Jackson. So yeah, not to mention the Chargers are going to be traveling cross country for this game. So we'll see how things go this week. And then, of course, I'll be focusing on the Chargers after this game's done. And hopefully, we're 3-1 heading into this game. You know? Yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you. Let me know what you guys think. And as always, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell, and also become a member for extra perks. Wouldn't hurt. Not forcing y'all. I'm just saying. If you want to get some extra perks like, priority when it comes to comments, or maybe if you really want a big perk, you can become a member and possibly be in a live stream with me. Yeah, so with that being said, I'm Crazy Dog 99. Let's get this dub on Sunday and go to 3-1. Honestly, I'm not really scared of the Falcons. If we play our kind of ball, we should be able to beat these guys. They ain't nothing. But just like the Jets, they can sneak up on you if you're not careful. That's a thing. And by the way, I'm wearing Nick Chubb, in case you didn't notice by now. Former Georgia Bulldog. Yeah. I feel like he's going to have a big game this Sunday, essentially in his old stomping grounds. Pretty much, you know? Yeah, that's going to wrap it up. I'm Crazy Dog. Let's go, Browns. Beat the damn Falcons. I'm out of here. Bye bye.